other girl, but it's you. I dream about anything at all, but it's you.
Everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Brandy. Today's video, I am back with a first impression on the newest NATASHA DENONA Glam Eyeshadow palette. Now, I've got this palette for about a week now, but I didn't really have a chance to play with it, and mostly it's because I was still playing with the Urban Decay Stone Vibes eyeshadow palette, and I did a video on that too. So if you're new here and if you haven't checked out my channel yet, make sure to check out that video after watching this one. And yeah, without further ado, let's get this video started. Okay, so before I go into the swatches and the application, I just want to show you guys a little bit about this palette. So this palette looks like this. The outer packaging is very reflective. As you can see, it reflects my camera as well, but it feels really nice. Do aware that if you put your fingers here, it will leave your fingerprints, and if you are a little bit, you know, OCD about this, if you don't like this, then just be careful with this. Is that a police car? Anyways, so this palette contains with 15 different shades, and this is how the shades looks like. My lighting right now, it's a little bit strong. I've already put down the curtains, but I feel like the sun is still like peeking through, so I'm gonna do like another angle just to show you the accuracy of the colors. But this palette contains 15 different shades, from all the spectrum to the mattes to the shimmers, and yeah, this is a very cool tone palette. I really like about the naming of this palette as well, because instead of like the usual name, they basically put what you can use this shade for as the name of this palette. So here, for example, you've got your transition, and then you've had crease, inner corner, outer eyelid, center eyelid. I really like this naming, especially for beginners. I would say this palette is very neutral, so it's very beginner friendly. If you're scared of really colorful and really bold colors, I feel like this is a great palette to start with. Another thing I need to point out though, when I was looking at the packaging, I threw it away unfortunately. It did say that the ingredients of this eyeshadow palettes do contain talc. So if you are sensitive and if you are, you know, not vibing with this ingredient, because I do believe some of the eyeshadows in the market right now still have that ingredient, which is I know, but yeah, if you are into clean and sustainable makeup items, please let me know if you have some talc-free eyeshadow palette to recommend with. I would love to try out more of that. But yeah, besides that, this palette is really gorgeous. So now let's just get to the swatches so you guys can see how this performs.
It's no crime. I need a little bit of love from you. I need a little bit of trust from you. Oh, we can let the guns blow. Run from you. Oh, we can let the war start for us two.
Okay, so after seeing the swatches, I hope you guys get a better idea of how this palette looks like. And now I'm gonna zoom you guys in to get into the action. The sun is a little bit harsh, but I'm gonna see how I can edit this. But anyways, as you can see, I have already done my base already, as usual. And I'm just gonna go in with how these shades are named. I'm gonna use exactly as what it is. So for transition, I'm gonna use the only transition color here, which is more this cool tone, kind of ivory beigey type of color. This color kind of reminds me of Good Karma from that Urban Decay palette as well, because they're both kind of cool tone. And personally, I really like a neutral and cool tone base shade, because that way you can go in with any type of colors later. You won't feel like, oh, this is a little bit too warm or too cool for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that shade, and I am going to use a large fluffy brush like so, and I am just going to put this color right above my crease all the way to the brow bone, but not like right here, just all the way to here. Okay. And now I'm gonna go in with a the crease color here, which is more of this 2 shades darker neutral brown right here, and I'm gonna put that on my crease. And I'm gonna use the Sigma blending brush in E25. I'm just gonna go in with this color and then put it right here, if you guys can see. Now this palette, the shades are definitely very pigmented, but I like that it's also very easy to blend. And now I'm gonna use the smoke shade, which is this one right here. This one is slightly more neutral, but still pretty cool. And just gonna place this right at the outer corner, and then drag it out a little bit like that. And for today's look, I think for the center of the eyelid, I am going to go with this more rose gold, but I'm pretty sure on the eye it might look a little bit more sharper. This color right here. And I like to use my fingertip to pick up this color. I don't know if it's me or anybody else, just feel it. For me, I know you can use a metallic shade with a wet brush to achieve that really blinding looks, but if I do it with that, I feel like the shades are never blended super well, at least not blended in a way that I expected it to be. So I always prefer using my fingertip to dip in any type of shimmery and glittery or, you know, metallic shades. I think that's the best way to apply this type of eyeshadow. You can argue with me. I mean, I feel like this is personal preference again. So I'm just going with this color, and then I'm gonna gently dab this color like so. Okay, I really like how this shade feels on my eyes. The color payoff is definitely there, and it feels very buttery. And the color is actually very subtle. It's not too strong. It's not as blinding as I expected it to be, but it's not bad. So for the lash line color here, there's only one color like that. So this is the lash line shade, which is the darkest brown shade here in this palette. I'm just gonna use a liner brush. This is the Morphe liner brush. And I'm just gonna go in and dab this a little bit and try to put this along the lash line. Now, whenever I put a powder liner on top of a shimmery shadow, I feel like it never works as well as, you know, a liquid eyeliner. I think that's just the way it is. Oh, there's fallout. There's fallout right here. Try to clean it up. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but there's definitely fallout. Okay, so I'm going to just build up this liner a little bit more. I mean, personally, this color is pretty great. It's not too dark, but it's dark enough for it to show, even after layering on the smoke color. So I like that. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I hope the camera pick it up. The lighting today is a little bit strong, but it's the only time I can film today. I have a lot of stuff to do later, so please bear with me if the lighting feels a little bit off. Now, I am going to go back in with a pencil liner just to time line the waterline a little bit, so the whole look can pull together a little bit better. So I'm gonna put some inner corner shade here. Now, just because I tried the center eyelid shimmery shade with my fingertip earlier, and I felt like the intensity is not as great as it shows in the pan, so I'm a little bit worried that the inner corner shade is not going to be as blinding as I thought it would be, but I'm still going to try. I'm gonna use this really flat brush, and then I'm gonna dip on this inner corner color, which I think complements the shade that I just used, which is right here. This is probably just like 1 or 2 shades lighter than the center eyelid color that I chose. It still has a very, I can see a very refined glitters on top of it, and I really like that. And let's just see without any, I didn't wet the brush, by the way. I just want to see the intensity of this. Just me going in with a flat brush, how would it look like? Okay, it might be the lighting as well, because this color is very light, but from the eye I can definitely see that it is picking up a little bit, but not as much as I thought it would be. So maybe let me just try dipping it with my finger to see if that's going to be better. Okay, with finger, it's definitely better, but I don't know if you guys can see right there, just for the sake of you letting you to see that shade. But again, I don't really use my fingertip to put any color on my inner corner because it's very hard to control the placement of that shade. So I'm just gonna wipe it off a little bit because I think it gets a little bit too wide and I don't like how wide it be. The bottom lash line, I'm just gonna do something really simple. I'm gonna use the color blend and then just do drag this one out on my bottom lash line. This one color right here. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one and then just drag it out gently like so. So you can see the difference between this one and that one. And then also I'm going to darken the outer corner with the same smoke shade just to intensify it a little bit. Now I know right now the bottom lash line eyeshadow color might look a little bit too much or too dark, but trust me, once I finish with all the lashes, it will all look great together. So bear with me if I do look a little bit insane right now, but trust me, it's all gonna come together. Yeah, I adjusted the brows a little bit so it's a little bit darker. I feel like that suits the eye look a little bit more. So now I'm going to pop some lashes and then finish up this eye, and then we're gonna come back and regroup. Okay guys, so I am back. I just finished up my lashes and I did a little bit of retouch on the liner here, and I know before I said I prefer this powder look, but then I feel like after the lashes the intensity of the powder just won't cut it anymore, so I did go in with a little bit of a liquid just in the outer tip of my liner right here, just intensifying it a little bit. And of course, as you can see, I did my bronzer and my highlight, my blush, and my lip color. I'm using the Nars American Dream. This is their what's this line? This is the matte liquid lipstick, and I absolutely love this line. If you feel like you want to wear a lip product that day and you don't want your lip color to transfer to your MAC, or you want to like prevent and have just like a minimum transfer, I highly recommend this product. And it comes with so many different shades as well. This shades, I believe it's one of their most popular shades. Yeah, this very everyday rosy type of nudie shade, and I love this type of color. And yeah, excuse me the lighting, the sun completely went away. It's cloudy now, it's kind of windy outside. Fall is here, I can feel it in my bones, and I need to purge my closet. I need to like declutter and get organized. So much stuff. But anyways, let's, you know, regroup and how I feel about this after the first application. So personally, again, I love the shade choice, and that's the primary reason why I get this palette, because it's very neutral, leaning towards the cool tone vibe. So I feel like I can definitely rock this on a very, you know, everyday basis. And this is retail for, I believe, $65. For the price, I do think it's pretty justified, because this is a NATASHA Denona palette, so you know how pricey her palettes can be. And the shades here, I would say, are pretty good, but a couple of shades are a little bit repetitive, especially the metallic shade. I would say the center island and the inner corner, these two shades, even though it looks a teeny bit different in the pan, let me point it out, these two, but on the eyes they actually look kind of similar. I wouldn't be able to tell apart these two shades, and I feel like these two shades here as well, the inner corner shade and the center lip of the shade, these two shades are very similar as well. So I feel like maybe they can do a little bit more of a variety in terms of the metallic shades, but that's about my only complaint about this palette. And oh, and also the matte shades, depending on your application, does have some fallout as well as the metallic shade. The entire pan has some fallout issues, but again, you can clean it up, and I personally don't really mind with fallouts, because I feel like almost all the eyeshadows have fallout unless you're wearing like a liquid eyeshadow or a very wet type of jelly texture eyeshadow cream. So yeah, I would totally recommend this palette to anyone that is looking for a more neutral everyday and wanted to try out NATASHA Denona but don't know where to start. Yeah, this one is pretty good, and it's not as expensive as the regular one. So yeah, and also I believe they launched the bronze palette a while back, about like probably 2 months ago, and I really like the color story on that one. But for me, the reason why I didn't pick it up is because it's just a little bit too warm tone for my skin tone, and I just felt like I have already owned a lot of a warm tone palettes in my collection. So personally, I just didn't pick that one up. But I know a lot of YouTubers as well as my friends, they're actually like raving about that product. So if you're interested in this brand, in NATASHA Denona, and you feel like this shade might be a little bit too cool for you, you should definitely check out the bronze palette. And yeah, I think this is it for today's video. This is my first impression. Again, I think the final result of this look is pretty good. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye.